So, pandemic's still going on. What are some of the most issues you've seen?
First of all, there's telehealth now, right? So I used to be one of those therapists who was like, I'm never doing this shit. But now it's just like, I have to.
Okay.
So
but you still prefer the in person,
I do, man. I do.
You seeing patients in person now?
Occasionally.
Okay. You got the plastic wall up. You
the
high BB making a sandwich. What you need, my friend? What you need?
Uber drivers.
The bulletproof glass at the corner store. Like,
what makes you like? I personally hate teleworking, but what makes you like in person?
Like, what makes it different?
Yeah.
This is a very stupid example, but I don't know. I think it's funny, right? So there's a patient I've been working with for the better part of a year. It's like 7 months, 8 months maybe. And I saw him for the first time this past week, and we realized we were both sneakerheads.
Oh yeah,
you don't know that kind of shit, right? You don't know, but you just get a better feel of a person, right?
Yeah.
Like you just you can kind of see who they are. There was a couple that I was working with for a while, and I realized, I mean, their personalities kind of spoke to this in a way, but. One person was severely taller than the other. It's just like more information about who they are and how they interact,
Right. It's stuff that you can't really communicate
it's
over
stuff
the computer.
And they say that, at least 67% of all communication is nonverbal. So there's a lot of stuff that you could kind of like really actually miss out on.
And there's probably a huge gap between them turning on their telecommuting, not telecommuting, like virtual.
Their mic, their camera.
Like them turning on that presentation to you as compared to walking into your office and they're kind of more loose and being themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
it can work both ways, but you're right? Like because the screen is kind of like, I don't know, it's just like one removed. It's like a little. You're not in the same space with them.
Yeah.
But there's some people who actually, when I transitioned, I had worked with them in person for a while, and they transitioned to telehealth, and it's like.
they became more comfortable.
They became more comfortable because they're in their own space. It feels a little safer. They're not like in, my office. Yeah.
So you don't have the stress of taking a bus all the way to see you or something
that
like
too.
That too. It's raining outside or snow.
Might not be too self-conscious, looking at what they're wearing and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So feel comfortable in their own home. Okay, I get that.
Yeah.
What other, issues?
So what other things have you been dealing with since the pandemic?
What are you seeing from patients mostly now that the pandemic has been going on?
Yeah, definitely. A lot of loneliness. A lot of stress between couples locked in the house. DC's a lot of condos and apartments, smaller spaces, more fights, or things that weren't addressed get stirred up. If you had underlying issues with a partner, right, for a while, or just some arguments that haven't been dealt with, right, those things can really flare up. You're locked in, a space together, so that happens. And your general stuff that's just a little bit higher, right? Like your depression, anxiety. Everyone's at a higher level of stress right now.
Did you see a pandemic uptake in your clientele?
I did. Yeah. I absolutely did.
How many
100%.
clients you have now?
I always go by like how many appointments I have a week. And so I average about 27, 28.
Okay. Appointments?
Yeah.
That was before the pandemic, or that's right?
That's right now. That's right now. Before, maybe like it was a little bit lower, but there was one point in the pandemic I got up a bit higher. Like 30.
And so, like, do patients see you every week, or is it,
I like seeing people every week. I think that's the way therapy works best. Not everyone wants to do that or has the energy to devote to that.
Okay.
There's some people I see twice a week. And there are other people I see every other week.
Wow,
but I do not see anyone less than every other week. I don't think that's therapy at that point.
Oh. What is it?
It's just catching up.
Let's check in, Right. It's adjusting whatever fire is like, what the new fire is, the news of the week kind of thing. The goal is to kind of get a little bit deeper than that. So you run the risk of that with, weekly therapy or every other week, but, this is even more of a chance if you're meeting like every 3 or 4 weeks.